Well, good morning, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. I see people are coming into the room there, so we'll just give it one moment there to allow people to come into the room. It's good to see everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm joined here by my colleague, Brian. Brian, you might say a good morning to everyone.
Morning, everybody. Looking forward to this session and thanks for joining today. So good to be here. Thanks, Carl.
Thanks, Brian. Brian has a bad cough and a cold at the moment, like most of the nation, right? So it's good to see you, Brian, all right? People are
Good
still
to
coming
share all that
at the
information.
moment. So we really appreciate everyone taking the time out to join us this morning. Anyone that's been on a Great Place to Work webinar will know that we like to start with, of course, our favorite topic, which is the weather. So you might just pop a good morning and let us know what the weather is like into the chat function there, just to let me know you can hear me okay. No rain so far in Dublin, but give us a good morning and let us know what the weather is like in your part of the world. We have grey skies in Wicklow. Morning, Kieran.
I can confirm that. Grey and Bray, anyway.
Grey and Bray as well. I heard this morning that we do have a yellow warning for Cork and Waterford. It
Oh my
feels
God.
like we have been on a storm footing for lots of this year so far. Grey skies in Kerry, dry and cold in Cavan. Morning, Marcia. It's
Where's
Dublin.
Cork haven't come in yet?
It's grey and loud. So no sunshine, just grey skies. Morning, everyone. Thank you for doing that. Right, just lets me know you can hear me okay. All right. So listen, appreciate taking the time. We have what we're going to do is obviously we want to take you through the Great Place to Work program. What's involved? What do you need to do as an organization? What's the value to you as an organization? But we do want to make it as interactive as possible, right? Really appreciate the questions that we got sent in advance. Thank you for that. And during the session, please post any questions you have into the Q&A function. We want to make this as informative and as interactive as possible. All right. So thank you very much for that. So any questions that are on your mind, pop it into the Q&A and we'll be delighted to answer those questions. So we have a few sort of messages, if we like, a few announcements. Great Place to Work masterclasses. So many of you may have been at a Great Place to Work event before, right? We have a masterclass organized for Johnstown Estate in Enfield. They have a beautiful new events room down in Johnstown Estate, and we're delighted to have our event there on May the 7th. Okay. Now we only have 100 spots for organizations at these master classes. You can see on the screen there who will have speaking at it. Lots of great content for your culture. 100 places is all we have. So if you're interested, make sure you log on to the event and sign up. Download the Great Place to Work People First Culture Report. We over the time, obviously, we get to work with lots of organizations of different industries, different sizes, and we have put together a sort of a best practice report in terms of various insights around organizational culture, what things they do well. So that's packed with insights for you. So feel free to download that report, and that'll certainly give you some inspiration around your work culture. And of course, as I said at the start, we want this to be interactive. We'll have a couple of polls. It'd be great if you could take part in that. And you please use the Q&A function just to pop any questions that you have. Anything that's on your mind, pop it into the Q&A function and we'd be delighted to answer any questions you have, right? So, kind of getting into the program, right? We believe that any organization can build a great culture. And our mission is to help you do it. And we're over 20 years now helping organizations build a great culture, all sizes, all industries, right? No matter where you start from in terms of your culture, we are in a position to support you and help you improve and sustain a strong culture, right? And it's one simple process, right? I'm going to take you through the process, but it's one simple process, right? It's all based around the Great Place to Work survey that we do for your employees, managers, and leaders. And then from that survey, we can give you insights around your culture, but also all our recognition, which you'll be familiar with, best workplaces, and that all comes from that one simple process. Thank you, Marina. I think we might have some polls here. So do you believe your workplace has a great place to work culture? And we have, sorry, we had already answered those polls. That's my fault. Sorry. So we asked the question: do you believe your workplace has a great place to work culture? And 78% of you have said yes. 22% have said no. Okay, so great. You believe you have a great work culture. Well, you need to come and use our program and work with us, and we'll validate for it for you. And then don't worry if you feel you're not, you don't have a great work culture. That's why we're here. We're here to help you. We're here to support you in terms of improvement. And which aspect of the Great Place to Work program are you most interested in learning about? Okay, certification process. I will take you through that. Workplace culture. Happy to take you through that. All right. An employee survey. Okay. So again, any questions you have, pop it into the Q&A. Thank you very much for taking part in that poll. We appreciate it. And I see questions are coming into the Q&A function already, so thank you. Okay, and I of course would say that we're a great organization, but let's have a look at some of our clients, maybe how they use the program and what they say about the program, right? So this is Cloudera. They're an organization based in Cork, global organization, fantastic organization, right? And this is a quote from Jamie, the vice president there. Our experience with Great Place to Work Ireland over the past several years has been overwhelmingly positive. The partnership has helped our company deepen its cultural understanding. Okay, so they use the program to get a real insight around their culture, all right, what type of culture they have, what type of culture they want to have, and they make improvements of the insights that we give them, right? And Jamie talks about the network there as well, all right. When you're in the Great Place to Work program, you also have access to the other organizations that are in the program, and you can learn from them. So nice comment there from Jamie at Cloudera. And then Esri Ireland. So they use the model as a compass to reinforce their vision, mission, and most importantly, their company values. They actually started using the program when they were unsure what their culture was. They wanted to sort of use the survey, get a sense as to what makes them strong, what they could be better, and then they use the model each year as a sort of a barometer to improve their workplace. They have a brilliant internal Great Place to Work team as well in Esri that helps them build a strong culture. Thank you for that, Joanne. And then Cluntech from the beautiful city of Kilkenny, great Irish organisation that have done brilliant things on the global stage. They've been using the model now for many years, and yeah, they've also tapped into the community really well. They've been a great giver into the community around insights, but they've also connected in with other organisations to help them along their journey. I was with the leadership team a few weeks ago, and it's brilliant to see that 11 years into the program and they're still committed to the model and the program and making those improvements. So thank you, Rachel at Cluntech. And then Lyra Estate. So again, we're showing you the range of industries that we work with, right? So Lyra Estate Hotel, beautiful hotel again down in Kilkenny. And they've actually seen a big increase in terms of staff morale, which is great to see. And they're retaining a lot more of their people now since they've used the Great Place to Work program and since they've improved their work culture. So thank you for that, Louise. That's great to see. Okay, so what about the process? Okay, and I know this was a question that we got in from Jane in advance, right? What is the process involved with the Great Place to Work program? Okay, so it's a very simple process. You sign up to the program. It's largely based on the Great Place to Work survey. So you'll have a project manager. We'll build a project plan for you. And then we'll initiate the survey with your employees, your managers, and your leaders. All right. We usually leave it open for 2 weeks, gather in all the insights. We ask you to do one other thing, which is complete a culture brief, which will take about an hour to complete, which is a sort of an Excel file around some of the demographic information within your organization. So you've got the survey, the culture brief, and then we're in a position to present the results to yourself and your leadership team colleagues. And we also produce the reports and insights around, the various categories that we cover within the survey, insights around the demographics. How does your managers feel? How does any department feel? Once there's 5 or more responses in the data, we can have a look at that data and pinpoint exactly what support you need in terms of helping. And then we're also in a position to let you know about recognition and whether you're certified as a great place to work. So, survey, culture brief, insights, reports, analysis, and then you're in a position to be recognized as well as a great place to work. So, very simple process. And just thought I'd share this slide with you, right, which is just to give you an idea. Sometimes we're asked about the scaling that we use with the survey, because I know different surveys use different scalings, right? So this is an exact question from the survey itself, which is, I'm proud to tell others that I work here. So imagine your people answering that question, and you can see the scaling that we use. So it's almost always untrue, all the way to often true, and almost always true, all right? And that's the same scaling we use for all our 73 questions. Our questions, the Great Place to Work survey, is based on 17 categories, and it'll tell you everything you need to know about your culture, what you're doing really well, and what areas you can improve on, right? And that's the scaling there. And then, really interesting as well, we have 3 open ended questions that we ask people. What do they believe makes the organization great? What one thing would make it a better place to work? All right. And people can leave open ended comments and suggestions, which again is really helpful to understand where are we at and what do we need to improve on. And that survey as well, just to say from a benchmarking point of view, we've benchmarks in every industry, every size, unlimited benchmarks that are updated every year. So they're up to date, the benchmarks we use, and that'll help on your improvement journey. So to be certified as a great place to work, so we've done the survey, we've done the culture brief, all right? We've delivered the insights, the reports, you're clear on what you need to do around your culture. And then to be certified as a great place to work, all right, when we look at all the positive responses to the questions we got, you need to get 65% or higher when we average out all the positive responses we get to the survey. Obviously, you've submitted your culture brief, you've hit 65% or higher on the survey results, and you're ready for certification. You're ready to be certified as a great place to work. We have an incredible marketing team, a great place to work. They'll support you around how you activate that achievement, right? And from lots and lots of clients, they tell us that using that logo is really, really helpful in terms of attracting talent. And being certified as a great place to work is the first step to unlocking multiple recognition opportunities. So when you see best workplaces out there by industry, when you see best workplaces for health and well-being, it all comes from the Great Place to Work survey. The first step to that recognition is to be certified as a great place to work. All right. So it's the first step around multiple recognition opportunities. And yeah, all based on. Okay, Marina, I'm not sure if you can still hear me there. Can everyone hear me okay? You might just pop a chat.
We can hear you now.
You can hear me now. Okay, great.
Thanks, Paul.
So one simple process, certification is the start, and that opens up the multiple recognition opportunities. Thanks, Jen, for letting me know there. So on the next slide then, Marina, thank you. So I know this is a busy slide. I'm not expecting you to be able to read this, right? But I'm just showing you a visual around the insights we can share around your culture. So if you think of the survey being done, we can look at how that looks across function, how that looks by male, females, how that looks in terms of years of service, the 17 categories we cover, communication and involvement, performance management, everything you need to know. And we can slice and dice that information by really any part of your organization. And remember as well, we'll be presenting the results back to the leadership team. So you'll be really the survey as to the areas that you need to focus on to improve, but also the areas that you're already doing really well on. and you were strong on, all right? And we have an expert team to support you around that. And again, sorry, I know it's a busy visual, right? But just we've obviously had the privilege of working with many organizations. The IRFU have been in the program now for many years, right? They have a fantastic HR director there in Aileen Bailey. She's fantastic, a great ambassador for their culture. And this visual will just give you a sense in terms of the journey that they've been on, right? So they used a survey to measure their culture. The feedback they got was good, but they needed to work on things like, a well-being culture. They really needed to focus on how they do communication. And they've developed some really good initiatives that sort of meet their individuals and people where they're at in terms of their life stages, right? And their trust and engagement number in 2023 was at 89%, which is a great number. But remember, it's at that level because they've been working and listening to their people every year, using the survey, improving. And that's been a key part to their journey. So yeah, we're happy to share out these slides so you'll have that visual that you can study once we send that out to you. Okay, so look, I hope that was helpful, right? So I'm just going to take it through the process once more, right? Great Place to Work program, all based around the Great Place to Work survey. We'll give you insights around how you can, what makes your culture strong, what areas you can improve on. The recognition around Great Place to Work certification is the first step to unlocking those multiple recognition opportunities. And we'll be able to help you sort of build your culture, right? So Q&A time, right? Just a reminder, everyone, and thank you so far to people who popped their questions in there. Pop your questions into the Q&A function. I'm going to start with one question here, Brian, that we got in advance, right? And then we'll have a look at the Q&A function. So this question was in from Tom, Brian, which was, can you support me in presenting this to the senior team, right? So Tom is interested in starting the program. How does that work in terms of presenting it to the leadership team?
Sure. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for the question. The answer is yes, absolutely. We do this all the time and in multiple ways. So we would have, a range of slides for you to share. We have a very good short video clip that's very informative for a senior leadership team. And then on specific industries, we will have some case studies similar to what Cathal has shared there in the webinar already. And we will have blogs that we have written. So from meeting you, we'll understand what the areas of attention are for the organization, and we can support you with all that material. And obviously we can dial in and support meetings in person or virtually as well.
Thank you very much for that, Brian. Nicola has asked, if I set up a group of 5 and only 4 answered the survey, can I still get the results for that group? It's 5 or more responses, Nicola, to be able to look at that particular data, right? Obviously, they'd be included in the overall, but we need 5 or more because we're very strict on protecting people's anonymity in terms of the survey itself, all right? So 5 or more. So what happens in scenarios where organizations have less than 5? Sometimes we'll group those teams together to make sure you can have a look at that data and get a report for that group. Thank you for that question, Nicola, and I hope that helps. We have questions in from Jennifer and Chris. Jennifer and Chris, thank you for the question. They're interested in the cost of signing up to the program, Bryn.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, Cathal. So there is a cost involved. It really relies upon the amount of people in the organization and the level of services that you're looking for. So we group organizations into different headcount bandwidths, and there's an appropriate cost around that. Ideally, the best thing to do here is for me to pick up a conversation with you directly, and we can share the price and the investment required openly with you at that stage.
Cathal, we can't hear you. No.
It's moving fine, but you're back again there, I think.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, so a link has been put into the chat there. So if you want to have a meeting with Brian, you can put the link into the chat there and book a meeting in there with Brian around that. So
Thanks, Marina.
Thanks for that, Marina. Thanks for that, Bryn. So a range in terms of pricing based on your organizational size and what you need in terms of support. Okay, but we'll link in directly with you around that. Bryn, a question in from Frank. When do we launch the survey?
Great question. Thanks. So with what we always say with the process and the survey around being certified, there's no said is it's validated for 12 months. So from every date you're certified, that's validated for a rolling 12 months. So we can go live when suits you. There's a little bit of planning involved in advance of surveying, going live with communication. But when the simple answer is whenever suits the business and the organization, then we can launch the survey at that stage.
Thanks for that, Breen. And Vijay, I see your comment there. So I know we lost a little bit of connection there with Breen. So just the answer is you can survey at any time, whatever time suits the business. It's always good to think about when do you want to receive the results and the insights and kind of work back from that date. So no problem, Vijay. No problem at all. Post survey, Breen, what happens? So survey results are in. What happens at that point then?
So when we have your results, this is really where the good stuff starts, I think. We have the data for the organization and an insight into what the structure of the organization is. And that's where we come back out to the organization and present back to the leadership team on the data using benchmarks that Cathal mentioned there, and then start to focus on prioritized action planning for you as an organization to really focus on the areas that you can build out within the organization from the survey results, and then look to find ways to collaborate the broader team into the process as well, and build into those internal Great Place to Work teams that some of the client testimonials mentioned.
Thank you, Bryn. Jennifer posted in a question comment there into.
I've lost you again, Cathal.
Hello, can we hear me now?
Yeah, got you back again now.
Okay, Jennifer has posted into the Q&A. We were involved in the Sunday Times Best Place to Work last year. Found the process a bit complicated. Can you simplify the process? Sign up, get sent to survey. Jennifer, we're not the Sunday Times Best Place to Work. We have a sort of a simplified process that we've been working on year. Our clients use the program that we have every year.
Your sound has dropped out there. Wait a moment, I'd say you'll come back. That's frustrating for you.
Hi, folks. Can you hear me now?
Back again.
Okay, thank you. So we have a simplified process, Jennifer. We'll help you through that. It's not the Sunday Times Best Place to Work. That's something different. And our program is very much recognised by the talent market as well. So we'll liaise with you directly, Jennifer, and we can support you around that. Fleur has asked if our culture needs a little work now. At what point do we engage with yourselves? Fleur, now is the time to engage with us, right? Remember, a key part of our program is helping you with your culture, helping you improve your culture, helping you understand your culture. So now is the time, Fleur, to start engaging with us. We'll measure your culture. We'll tell you what you're doing well, what can you improve on, and we'll support you through that improvement process. I know I covered this already, Brian, but we have a question in around what is the number you need to hit to be certified as a great place to work?
Sure. So the number is 65%. So from the people who respond to the survey, given the statements are positive and answering on a scale of 1 to 5, both 4 and 5, a positive score. The score you're looking for on average is 65% across the organization. And once you achieve that, you've achieved the certified standard.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, Brian. So remember, there's the recognition element, and then there's the insights we can give you in terms of support around your culture. All right. Ruth, I know you're looking for ballpark figures for 100 to 300 employees. We'll liaise with you directly, find out what your needs are, in terms of from a culture point of view, and we'll give you a sense as to how we can help you, and of course what the price is. So we'll liaise with you directly around that route. Breen, what about if an organisation has employees in Ireland and employees in other countries? How does that work?
Yeah, great question. What we do there is we have Ireland as the anchor project, and then we bolt on the other countries and run the survey at the same time. So what we're doing is running the survey for Ireland, and wherever your employees are internationally and globally, we can survey them as well. Depending on the headcount you have in those countries, there is an opportunity to be recognized and certified locally as well. We do this all the time on global projects, so it's something we're well used to doing now. So that's very simply delivered.
Thanks for that, Bryn. And we're currently running a project globally of 14,500 employees. So we're privileged to have that project, and we're very, very skilled in terms of being able to support organizations that are global as well. Dervla has asked, can you talk us through the awards process, please? Example, the best place to work in technology. So Dervla, just as a sort of a reminder there again, right? First step, certified as a great place to work. And then the best of our certified organizations go forward to be a best workplace. All right. So our next best workplaces list is coming up in a couple of weeks. So you have to be certified first, and then the best of our certified organizations are a best workplace then, all right, which is another step up in terms of recognition. And I know you were asking then about best workplaces in technology. Every May then we have a best workplaces list in the industry, the sector of technology. Of course, if that's the sector that you're in, you can be recognized in that sector as well and on that list. But there's nothing separate you have to do, Dervla. It's all based on that survey, all right? We also have a best workplaces in health and well-being. And again, there's nothing separate you have to do. It's all based off that one survey. We're certified as a great place to work. And then we specifically look at the health and well-being questions that the survey covers. And if you score well on that, you will be a best workplace in health and well-being. So I hope that answers your question, Fleur, but let us know if you have any other questions on it. Jason has asked, is there any way to see what workplaces have received certification in specific sectors? So Breen, you might take that. Jason is wondering, how do I see what workplaces have received certification?
Certainly. So regarding specific sectors like tech that Cathal has mentioned there, when the awards come out, we produce a Best Workplaces in Tech report, which is really insightful. Not only does it list the organizations that are certified in the industry, but some of the practices and some of the pieces of work that they've undertaken. We would have, Best Workplace in Hospitality. Certainly on the website, you're able to see all organizations there that are listed and certified. And be able to look at those by sector as well. You're able to scroll through them and see them all there.
Thank you for that, Bryn. So Jason,
Carl, there was one question earlier on. I don't know, it might have slipped through the crack on you from Cleana there, and she's asked the question: do all employees need to complete the survey? We usually get about 60 to 70% completion rate on our own internal surveys.
That's a great question, Clina. So the answer is not all employees have to complete the survey, but all employees will be included in the survey. And I hear your response rate around your current survey. We hit around the 75% mark in terms of an average response rate. That's obviously higher when it's easier to get the survey to people through emails. A little bit lower. Some organizations are still on paper surveys, but on average about 75%. So not all employees have to complete the survey, but all employees, managers and leaders will be invited to complete the survey. All right. So an average response rate around 75%. So that's a great question, Clina. Kieran has asked, if and when certification is received, what is the process for continuous renewal? I work in the healthcare sector where approximately 6,000 staff also would be what would be the associated cost. So Kieran, on the cost side, we'll liaise directly with you. And I know you're working in the healthcare sector and the great work you're doing. We actually are 3 years into a program with an organization from the healthcare sector that have made huge improvements to their culture. So Kieran, I'd be delighted to liaise in directly with you and give you a sense as to what has worked for them. Organizations will sign up on a 3-year basis. with us. So it's a 3-year contract. And we'll go from there. But as I said, lots of organizations have been with us now every year for 10, 11, 12. Any more questions that you've got in there, Bryn?
No, I think that is all. No, I think we've picked up on all of them coming through from what I've seen anyway.
Ruth, I know you're asking there about the education sector is there. Sorry, I'm just picking it up there. So,
sorry, excuse me.
do any higher education organizations have the logo? Not as yet, Ruth. Not as yet. I know they certainly do in other countries, right? But remember, any company can build a great workplace. So we'd be delighted to sit down with you, Ruth, and talk about how we can support you. And it'll all start, remember, from measuring employees, managers, and leaders, the survey, and then we'll build supports from there. So we have a question in. Very good question. How can smaller companies compete with the larger organizations for certification and best workplaces? Brian, what's your thoughts around that?
Sure, that's a lovely question, really, and it's something that comes up for me all the time meeting with organizations. So I suppose what's important to say is that you're not competing with larger organizations. When we talk about the certified standard, it's a fixed standard that you're working towards, and you have clarity around that 65%. Engaging with us over a 3-year period, and organizations communicate to their people to say they're engaging with Great Place to Work with a view to being certified over the next 3 years. So there isn't pressure to achieve certification in year 1. So then you're running the survey, getting your own data, and then your action planning coming out of that. It's only when we get into best workplaces where we start to identify a range of category sizes. Typically, in my own experience, what I would say to this question is that smaller organizations tend to score more highly because they tend to be tighter teams, a lower number of people in the workforce, more aligned to the strategy and to the mission, and a clearer understanding. So they actually tend to score more highly than the larger organizations, and oftentimes the larger organizations would love to get back to the closeness of the team of the smaller organization.
Thanks for that, Brian. And also what I'd say is you're kind of competing with yourself in terms of your own ambitions. So what type of culture do you want to have in place, and how do you get there? What supports do you need to get there? And certainly this model will support you. All right. We just got one final question that I think I'll answer if that's okay, which is